Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this tutorial series, we are designing this responsive homepage using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And this is our progress as of now. We have designed the desktop version. Now in this video, we will design the mobile version. So here in the original design, we can see that if we decrease the width of the screen, this is how the mobile version looks. So in the mobile version, we want to decrease the font size of this heading and also this paragraph. And we need to remove the menu items from here, and we need to add this menu button. And when we click on this menu button, we want to have these menu items displayed over here. And then here we have this close button, and if I click on that, the menu items are hidden. So this is what we're going to design in this video. Let's get started. So here we can see this is the CSS of our design, and this is our progress as of now. So the first thing we need to do is we need to hide these menu items. First of all, let me just disable this video playback. So I'll just, in the video tag, I'll just remove this autoplay. We will add it later. So let's go back to our style.css file, and here we'll create a media query. So I'll just tap at media, and let's set the max width to 600 pixels. So whenever the width of the screen is less than 600 pixels, whatever styles we have inside this block will be added to our design. So first of all, let's hide these menu items. So for that, if you go to the HTML, here we can see we have this UL with the class of menu items. So let's hide this. So here I'll just type main container, nav, menu items, and let's set the display to none. And now we can see that the menu items are not being displayed over here. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to display the menu button. So here we can see we have this menu button. So for the menu button, we have this division with the class of menu button. So let's target this. So here I'll just type main container, nav, menu button, and let's set the display to block. And let's add some more styles over here. So I'll just type width, and let's set the width to 30 pixels and the height to 30 pixels. And now we can see we have the menu button displayed over here. Now the next thing we will do is we will decrease the font size of this heading and also this paragraph. So let's type main container, and we have the heading inside the hero section. So here we can see we have this header with the class of hero section, and in that we have the h1. So let's type hero section h1, and let's set the font size to 60 pixels. And let's also decrease the font size of the paragraph. So let's type main container, hero section p, and let's set the font size to 16 pixels. And let's add some more space between this paragraph and this heading. So let's tap margin top, and if you scroll up, we can see that for the paragraph we have set a margin top of -24 pixels. So let's bring it up a little bit. So I'll just tap -6 pixels, and I think that looks alright. We'll also decrease the font size of this button. So let's tap main container, and the button is also inside the hero section, and we have an anchor tag with the class of btn, and let's set the font size to 14 pixels, and I think that looks alright. Now the next thing we will do is style the menu items for the mobile device. So here we can see this is how it looks. So for that, we have to first of all rotate and scale up this main container. So what we will do is we will add a class called active to the main container when we want to rotate it and show the menu items. So here let's type main container dot active. Now all the styles that we add over here will be added to our design when we have the active class for the main container. So here I'll just type transform, translate x, and I will set it to -190 pixels. And we'll also rotate it a little bit. So I'll just type rotate z, and I will set the angle to -4 degrees. And we'll also scale it a little bit. So I'll just type scale, and I'll just set it to 1.1. Alright, now let's go back to our HTML file, and let's add the active class. So here in the main container, I'll just tap active, and now we can see that the styles are applied to our main container. Alright, now let's style the menu items for the mobile device. So if you scroll down, here we can see we have this division with the class of mobile menu items. So let's style this. Let's go back to our style.css file, and here I'll just tap mobile menu items, and let's set the position to fixed, and we'll also set the display to flex, and align items to the center so that all the elements will be in the center of the screen vertically. Right now let's set the height to 100 viewport height, and let's set the width to 190 pixels. because that's how much we have moved this main container to the left. Here we can see translate x of negative 190 pixels. And let's set the right position to 0 and the top position to 0. And now we can see all the menu items are displayed over here. Let's also set a background color. So I just tap background and let's set the color to 131212. Now here we can see that the mobile menu items are on top of the main container. So for that, let's go to the main container. So here we have the styles for the main container. Here we need to add a z index. So just tap z index and let's set it to 2. And now we can see that the main container is on top of the mobile menu items. Right now, let's style the unordered list inside the mobile menu items. So if you go back to the HTML, here we can see inside the mobile menu items, we have this UL and we have these menu items over here. So let's style this. Here I'll just type mobile menu items UL and let's remove the bullets. So I'll just type list style and let's set it to none. And we'll also set a padding left of 60 pixels. Right now, let's style all these anchor tags. So for that, let's type mobile menu items ULA and let's remove the underlines by typing text decoration to none. And let's set the color of the text to white. And let's set the font family to Roboto and sans serif. And let's set the font size to 20 pixels. And we'll also add a margin of 16 pixels top and bottom and 0 for left and right. And the margin is not being applied because anchor tags are inline element by default. So we have to set the display to inline block. And now we can see that the margin is being applied. Now the last thing we need to have over here is the close button. So here we can see we have the close button at the top right. So if you go back to our index.html file, here we can see we have this division with the class of close button. So let's target this. Here I'll just type mobile menu items close button and let's set the position to fixed and we will set the width to 32 pixels and the height to 32 pixels and we'll set the top position to 24 pixels and the right position to 32 pixels and we'll also set the color to white. And here we can see we have the close button. So everything is being displayed correctly. Let's go back to our HTML file and let's remove the active class. Here we can see we have this active class. So let's remove this. And now we can see that the position of the main container has reset. But we can see that these menu items are displayed over here. So for that, let's go back to our style.css file. And here in the main container, let's add a background color. So I'll just tap background and let's set it to black. And now everything looks alright. Now the last thing we need to do is we need to display the menu items when we click on this menu button. And we need to hide them when we click on the close button. So we will do that using JavaScript. But before that, let's go ahead and add a transition over here in the main container so that we will have a smooth transition between the animation. Right now, let's start with the JavaScript. So in the HTML, we can see that we have already linked our JavaScript file over here. Now we need to reference three things from this HTML into our JavaScript. So we need to reference the close button and we need to reference the menu button over here and also this main container. So let's go to our main.js file and let's type const menu button equals document.querySelector and here we'll just type main container nav menu button. Right now let's reference the close button. So let's type const close button equals document.querySelector and it is inside mobile menu items close button. Now let's reference the main container. So let's type const main container equals document.querySelector main container. Alright, now let's add an event listener to this menu button. So let's type menu button dot add event listener and let's listen for the click event and let's create an arrow function over here. And here we need to add the active class to the main container. So let's type main container dot class list dot add and here we'll just type active. Alright, now let's add an event listener to the close button. So let's type close button dot add event listener and here we'll just type click and let's create an arrow function over here And here we need to remove the active class from the main container. So let's type main container dot class list dot remove active. And now let's see whether it works. So let's click on this menu button, and we can see that the mobile menu items are displayed over here. And let's click on this close button, and they are hidden. Now when we click on this menu button, we also want to hide this menu button from here. So for that, let's go back to our style.css file, and here in the media query, here we'll just type main container dot active, and then we'll type nav menu button, and we'll just set the opacity to 0, and we'll also add a smooth transition for this animation. So let's scroll up, and for the menu button, let's add a transition. So I'll just type transition of all to 400 milliseconds ease. Alright, now we can see that the menu button is not being displayed over here, and if I click on the close button, it is being displayed once again. So everything is working alright. So that's basically how you create a mobile version for this responsive homepage. Right, now let's go back over here, and let's add the autoplay. Right, so that's basically it for this video. In the next video, we will see how to add the animation for all the elements when the web page is loaded. And we'll also add hover effects to some of the elements in the desktop version. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.